Hey there, Pokemon fans! Are you looking for a new deck that can burn through your opponents with uncapped firepower? Look no further than this Torkoal deck. Torkoal's attack concentrated fire is the key to unleashing some serious damage and potentially taking down V-Star and VMAX Pokemon in just one hit. You're going to do a coin flip for each fire energy that's attached to Torkoal and 80 damage for each one that's a heads. It's potentially 240 damage just by paying the attack cost, but it's not a sure thing unless you add just a little bit of magic from Charizard to boost up those odds. So thanks to Burn Brightly, each fire energy that's attached to the Torkoal is now going to count as 2. That means that Torkoal can be using concentrated fire for just 2 energy, doubling those odds and getting better chances of hitting heads to take some big knockouts. Obviously, we want more energy though. It's not very often you're going to be using 2 energy on it. The option's there though if you're trying to get a cheeky knockout early. Charizard also has a very solid attack in Flare Blitz. This attack does a hefty 170 damage with just 2 fire and 2 colorless, thanks to Burn Brightly though, just 2 fire energy. The energy is discarded afterwards though, so that's a bit of a trade-off, but using Charizard against decks like Lost Box can be very helpful since they're going to struggle to take it down in one hit, where we'll take them out in one hit. We're not going to be stopping there though, because obviously keeping energy in play would be very handy. Charizard's going to be discarding them, but Torkoal doesn't need to be, because even when it's knocked out, if we have experience share attached to one of our guys on the bench, that energy is just going to move to them. So 4 experience share in the deck, potentially 4 energy being saved from Torkoal being knocked out. And the nice thing too is it doesn't even need to be on Torkoal, since the new card Armarouge we just got lets you move energy from your bench Pokemon to the active Pokemon. So we can have the experience share on Armarouge and on Charizard, freeing up the tool slot for Torkoal so that it can be using Blunder Policy, which is a very solid card to give added draw power to the deck. Torkoal flips any tails while we're attacking, you get to draw 3 cards. More cards means more consistency and, well, more turtle power. To further boost our draw power though, we're also going to be including Radiant Greninja, with its amazing concealed cards ability. By discarding an energy from our hand, you get to draw 2 cards, and while losing energy might seem like a bad thing, with fire decks we can use Magma Basin and just get that energy back from the discard pile and put it onto one of our bench Pokemon, and then with Armarouge move it from that bench guy back up to the active. Yeah, it's a nice combo to be able to pull off. For the trainer cards though, we've got a pretty standard list here. We're going to be looking at Nest Ball, Ultra Ball, and Battle VIP Pass to get our Pokemon searched out of the deck and onto our bench. Professor's Research is solid draw power, so we've got it in here as a 4 count, and we're also going to include Bruno. So it lets you shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 7 cards when one of your guys is knocked out. For a single prize deck, we're going to be getting knocked out, and we've essentially got contingency plans with Bruno and experience share. We've also got Raihan, so you can capitalize on those knockouts. When you go down, it's just like, hey, you know what? Get an energy right back from the discard pile onto one of our guys, and then search your deck for any card. So maybe you need a rare candy to get another Charizard set up because your opponent saw what you're doing and is trying to gust kill it. It's fine, just use Raihan, get another one. If we do get them knocked out though, we need a bit of Pokemon recovery, so we do have Clara to get our Pokemon back from the discard pile, as well as some energy. Getting the energy back though can just be helpful for Greninja to discard and get draw, so it's a pretty solid card to include in the deck. Couple considerations for the deck being Boss's Orders as well as Escape Rope, just for some gust or switch. Can be a little bit tricky if you're missing a knockout with Torkoal and your opponent just retreats that VMAX to the bench and it's got 10 health left. Be really frustrating. Or the other option we could use is Delphox V that can snipe a little bit. So you do 120 damage to the active and 120 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to be setting up knockouts for Torkoal or finishing off the scraps the turtle leaves behind. Arven would also be a good option for the deck since it can search out your experience share or Blunder Policy, as well as a rare candy when you need it. And the other thing we could do is instead of having Radiant Greninja, we could be using Heatran or Radiant Charizard as another attacker, but for my testing, I found that Greninja for a bit of draw power is usually the best option to go. Torkoal is doing really good numbers. Charizard can be attacking already. We don't really need another attacker in the deck, but if that's something you kind of want to go for, more firepower, have at it. What do you think of Torkoal though? Do you think it's a meme or a masterpiece? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the shenanigans as they come out. If you want to try the Torkoal deck out for yourself, the list will be in the description of the video, but let's jump on ladder and see how we go with this tonight. I'm going to try something a little bit different today, so if you're after some gameplay, try clicking the link here, and it's going to take you to a second channel I've made where it's just going to be gameplay for PTCGL. And if you're after another deck list, clicking the link here will take you to some more shenanigans. Till next time though, take care.